They are politicians who have broken the law, been fined by the State Ethics Commission, and then thumbed their noses at the public by refusing to pay those fines. Well, now the agency that is supposed to police these public officials is suggesting that the fine to be forgiven. So what's that costing you? Our Mike Deason finds out.
Former state Republican Chairman Jim Greer arrested on improper use of party funds. Party Executive Director Delmar Johnson accused of ethical lapses. State Senator John Thrasher hit with ethical violations on lobbying. Senate President Mike Herodopoulos fined for failure to disclose all his assets. And State Senator Jim Norman, a former Hillsborough commissioner, facing ethical charges for failure to disclose a $500,000 loan from a political kingmaker. These politicians are all examples of why the State Ethics Commission needs to monitor public officials.
It's given the authority to investigate violations of Florida's Code of Ethics for public officers.
Attorney L.T. Lafferty is a former member of the State Ethics Commission.
I believe in vigilance, and I think that we should be more vigilant against ethical misconduct.
And that's why Lafferty is concerned by a proposal by the executive director of the commission, Phil Claypool, to forgive more than $300,000 in fines against public officials who were found to be in violation of ethics laws.
We have tried, but these people just don't pay.
Claypool, who's been criticized by some state lawmakers for his suggestions, says the fines are uncollectible, and he blames the legislature, which changed the law. It made the statute of limitations 4 years on these fines, and collection agencies won't go after fines older than that.
My recommendation to the commission is to do what I think a lot of other state agencies are doing too, which is to declare that these fines are uncollectible and just simply write them off the book.
It is disappointing in some respects that the collection agencies haven't been able to collect any of these fines on their own. But more importantly, the thing that I find most important is that the individuals haven't, on their own volition, voluntarily paid these fines.
And Lafferty says it's much more than the Ethics Commission just not collecting the $300,000 in fines. For example, anybody who has been around here any length of time will remember 3 unethical Hillsborough commissioners who were convicted of bribery here at the old federal courthouse in the early 80s. And Lafferty says by forgiving the fines, it sends the message that unethical behavior will be tolerated.
I mean, one of the chief principles through prosecution is the deterrent effect that has against other people. When you see a prominent local official prosecuted or fined, and that fine carried out, it carries a deterrent effect. People notice it, they assess their own conduct as a result of that, and they become more compliant.
Everyone we talk to doesn't like giving up the money, and they don't like letting officials who violate ethics laws off the hook.
I mean, if they're breaking ethics policies, they got to be held accountable to it. To push that off to the side and say something like that, and it's the commissioner that's saying that, that's deplorable.
Forgive the official to violate? No. Why? Why should I? Yeah, why should I forgive them? No. If it was me, would they forgive me? No.
But as it stands now, whether the legislature or the Ethics Commission is responsible, taxpayers are losing more than $300,000 in uncollected fines from politicians who have broken the law. And that's this week's What's That Costing You?
Now, the 9-member Ethics Commission will meet next week to consider the proposal. And Claypool says that there are several smart attorneys on that commission. If they can come up with some way to collect the fines, he is all for it.
Actor Charlie Sheen